I thought I'd make a video right now because I'm still in library mode before I get my Indian food. So excited! I'm getting some paneer tikka masala. Should be really good. So English as a second language. Second language learners. Um, there's all sorts of different ways of describing people in the context of policy in the United States. And many of them have been problematic and filled with discrimination, or they lead to all sorts of problems. The names have changed over time. And I like the idea of second language learner because then it doesn't mean somebody's coming and learning English. It could be somebody who's learning Spanish in like a dual immersion school or something like that. How do you find information about that? Let me show you. So from the library catalog, that's a great place to start. I would put it in quotes, second language learner. So then it'll search for all those key terms all together. You can't type in natural language in here because this doesn't look at any outside resources. It only looks for the words that you type in. Oh, there's 4,000. That's pretty good. What you can do in any database, and I'll show you some databases too, in any of these, let's just go into the catalog so we can see a list of, I don't know how many thousands of things were there. If second language learner is a good term, there'll also be related terms. So the authors of all these articles and policy papers and educational and everything like that, people are going to be using different terms too. Because it goes back to 1900. I'd say it's more prevalent recently. But out of those, 6,940 results, we can see all the related key terms and we can find maybe better keywords, or we can at least see the other keywords related to it. I'm trying to get down to subject. Okay. Let's see what are some of the other ones. English as a second language, sometimes called ESL. This one is falling out of favor because it's North America centric. Second language instruction. There's linguistics. I mean, that's not necessarily what we're looking for. I think I understand you're looking for a population that is learning a second language and they're in the context of school and there's discrimination. Multilingualism. Oh, then there's like the description of students. We in our discriminatory past, not too far, it used to be called foreign students, and now that term is turned to international students. Foreign having a negative connotation. So all of this change going on, there might be different keywords. So let's go try some databases. This one looked pretty good. But we could look at international students too. From the library homepage, I'm going to move my head back over here. From the library homepage, you can go to databases and you could choose, any number of databases. Your instructor might recommend some. You could go by topic and you could go into like education, or you could go into psychology. But I have a list of my favorites that I'd like to start you out with before you go into these. And if you go to research guides, all the librarians are represented here. And this interface is really slow. I apologize. I don't know where the server is housed, but it's not any place close. I think it's like in Boston, Massachusetts or something like that. But if you look for social work, it could be my connection is slow. Click on the bold social work guide and you can see the URL campusguides.lib.utah.edu/social_work. If you go to PhD and Master's Help, that tab, there's more resources that we can work with. By the way, I'm here with you the whole time. So when this video is done, I'm still like waiting to hear back from you, and you and I can work on this further. This is just a video to get you started. So validating keywords, we've already done some of that. Some other places you can look in, Congressional Quarterly. These two relate to North American public policy. So there's like federal law for education and things like that. This is Nexus Uni is law in general. US Newsstream is newspapers in the United States. Those are more places you can get keywords. So if you know the name of an initiative, like Dual Immersion School, or what is it? I think it's called Dual. Oh, I forget what it's called. Dual Language Immersion School. I forget what it's called. But if you go down to discipline-specific research, these are my favorite databases. And if you went to education in that databases list that we just looked at, you'd find this one. If you went to psychology, you'd find this one. So my favorites are bolder and bigger. So you could, sociology looks at societies worldwide. There's some policy in there. PAIS is all policy all the time. And education is kind of a mix of like education practice, curriculum development, student development, psychology. So let's go to this one first. But I recommend you cruise through these. Keep notes on your keywords that you write down. Oh no. Oh yay. Oh no. My link might be bad. Let me go to the library homepage because education full text is one that we should go to. I might have to change my link. Oh, I might have to connect to the proxy server or the proxy thingamaj, the VPN. I can show you how to do it this way too. Education. The education librarian is on sabbatical right now, but they put their favorite database up here. Is this going to work? It is going to work. Oh, I have to update my guide. My link is out of date. This is all scholarship, some newsletters and trade journal things, but it's all scholarship related to education. Heavy in North America. You can put in keywords just like we did, but let me show you advanced search. All these databases, you can split up your key terms into different lines. And let me show you what I'm talking about. Oops, I'm going to put in quotes. Second language, and then look at all these different things in there. Second language instruction, acquisition, learning, English language learning. So let's just do second language or ESL or English as a second language. So all of those related terms and synonyms you could put in there. You could do specific language as well. Spanish, Portuguese, African languages, Asian languages, Vietnamese. When I was a kid in the United States, because of the big war in Vietnam, there was a lot of people from Laos or Hmong people or Vietnamese people that were resettled here in Salt Lake City. So we have a lot of Hmong and Vietnamese communities. And let's do, so since we're in education, we can just do equity or discrimination or inclusion. You can start with these, and if there's not enough, or I'm sorry, if there's too much, then you can put in policy, but I'm going to wait to do policy. Let's see what we get with these. So when I put the or in there, it's just going to do this one, or this one, or this one. Oh, there's 4,003. So a racial discrimination study, a lot of these are going to be case studies where it's just one entity studied its population and outcomes and things like that. So it's not necessarily the most rigorous of studies. But let's look at policy. Policy or govern. Oh, look at that. Policy or laws as legislation. Let's see what happens here. I know in Utah's past, the government tried to make English the official language, so any language other than English was not allowed to be taught. But that law did not last very long. Look at that. So there's only 1,000 there. And what you can do, if you like, is you can sort by date newest, or you can add one more search field and narrow it down more specifically. So if you're looking at, there might not be a lot in Utah, because there's not a lot of people here, but you can add another one and you can say, I'm very interested in a particular location or a particular policy. There was one from education 20 years ago called No Child Left Behind. I still don't know what that meant. Or you could look at a specific population like refugees, homeless students, all sorts of different things like that. So if we know these are good, you can use these same keywords. And let's go to a policy database. So that we did that education one, which I have to fix the link on. Embarrassing. So public policy is a study of like political science and rhetoric and leadership and et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to grab my keywords again. But on this one, I don't have to do policy or law because I'm in a database that talks about that already. Ooh, but I would have to put in education. Oh, I blew it, didn't I? You get the idea. You would add a row and put education, schools, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, look at that. English as an additional language, EAL. Inclusion practice for pupils with special ed. And for all these, if you want to, you can go to those subjects again and you can see what's being written on that topic. Higher ed, students, public policy. I was working with somebody recently that was looking at a school initiative in the West Valley of Salt Lake City, and to make it equal under probably like the Civil Rights Act of 1964, where everyone has access to the same resources, how they got around not building a school in this area in West Valley. In theory, I can't put words in other people's mouths, but they just bused students to East High, and they called it equal. Is that an equitable use of public funding to take away a community school and just do? So you can get into the nitty gritty of this. I forgot to tell you. If you find an article that you want, sometimes there'll be full text PDF. Sometimes it won't. It'll have this Find It button. The Find It button means if you're logged in, it'll go to the library catalog again, and it will look for that journal. If you can't track down something, let me know, and I'll help you sort that out. Because you might find the perfect article that we don't have full text access to. And it'll be below this yellow bar. It says no full text available. So what you do then is scroll down and request it through Interlibrary Loan. And there's a series of questions. Let me know how it goes. I think this is a fantastic topic. As globalization has made us face up to discriminatory practices in the past. And it's changed through the work that you're working on that's making a difference. So let me know how I can help. Thank you.